I will open it up to everyone else who's still here to ask any questions as well. So, go ahead.
Okay, good afternoon. I'm blessed to be here amongst the people, my sisters and my brothers that came here to share their story. I wasn't a part of the panel, but I'm part of the movement. It was a lot of questions asked today that I would love to answer, to be a part of it. So one thing that I wanted to answer, why should the community fund us? Why should they invest in us? Why should they believe in us? Personally, I can say, I devalue my life and anybody's life that had anything to do with taking something from me, harming me, harming my family. And I invested in my failures before I gave myself a chance to live a meaningful life. So I know about how we have to invest in the future. So I'm in love with life. I was blessed to start my own nonprofit organization in 19 from inside Camp Hill Penitentiary. I published my first book, The Love of Life. Like I said, my brand is The Love of Life. I found out my new identity within my darkest hours when I was in suicide watch. Punching the walls because I was fighting for my freedom. I was fighting those that was fighting me. I was fighting the pain that I was feeling. But in turn, I was killing myself because it was violent act after violent act, misconduct after misconduct. I was losing myself. I thought I was digging myself out of the hole, but I was digging myself even into a deeper, darker hole. So with that being said, when I looked around and I was sweating and I was crying and my knuckles was bloody and my knuckle prints was in the wall, I said, I'm tripping. I'm tripping. If I don't stop, I'm gonna die in here. And that's when I became the love of life. Because I knew I didn't love myself enough. I didn't love my family enough. So from that point on, I started moving different. I started thinking different. It used to be before that moment, as long as I didn't get caught, I was cool. I started educating myself. I don't want to go into this and that. First thing, biggest thing, I'm a certified peer specialist. I help people. I sat here and I heard trauma. I feel trauma. It rattled my core. A lot of us talk about the anxiety that we deal with from being released. I was just released Wednesday, and I relished this moment. I waited for this moment. I fought for this moment. I was blessed to be here. For the charges that I was convicted of, and the time that I've done, and the things that I've done within that time, people that believed in me, invested in me, didn't think I was going to make parole. They knew I deserved it. They knew I earned it. But they didn't think it was to be a reality. But I was blessed. And I stand here today, giving my truth, giving my story, giving my pain, hoping that I can inspire and motivate change in other people's lives. So with that being said, first question I want to ask my sister, Tamika, right? Okay. It was something that just transpired and it pained me and it triggered my trauma. We was out there at the break and our brother was speaking in terms of what he doing for the brothers, what he doing for the brothers. And I told him after he walked away, like, that's one of the things that triggered my trauma because my sisters can't be left out. We talk about what you're doing for the brothers, but what about my sisters? So, have you all ever thought about being a part of something that has to do with putting hands on the youth? Have to do something with putting hands on the women that's being forgotten? I don't know what happened with y'all green sheets and stipulations of y'all paroles, but I was never told that I couldn't interact with the men and women. So, do y'all think that it's wrong? Or the second part of the question is, what can we do to effectuate change in people's lives to stop some of the policies and rules that say we can't do this, when doing this is bringing about positive change?
Well, honestly, as of right now, under state law, because I still am on parole, I'm not allowed to work with juveniles. So that's the law of the land. So I can only offer my advice or do Zoom, because I was doing Zoom with YSRP, Youth Resentencing Project. I still work with them, and I work with the girl, but I work with her through Zoom, so that's the only way I can do it as of right now, until the law has changed.
Exactly.
I'm all about kids. That's because that's where we need to begin. If we don't get to these youth, they're going to end up just like we did. And because some of these youths don't have parents, I didn't have no one for me. So that is very important to me. I'm all about that. So if there's anything I can do, I'm here. As far as how do we input the change, this.
Exactly.
Our voices. Making a stand, showing them that we're humans, and just making our voices known. That voices and the many are powerful. And that's what we lack, because a lot of people think, oh, I can say something, nothing's going to change. Nothing's going to change. No, it will, because we got to stand firm, and we got to let them hear our voices in a respectful manner. But
Exactly.
that's how we bring our change.
That's
and
exactly
continue to keep on high.
That answer your question?
One more thing. As far as children is concerned, I've learned with my experience and with the children, with the one child that I did speak to, and in dealing with her trauma, like, children want to be heard, and children want to be listened to, and children sometimes need to figure things out, and a lot of times that a lot of parents, when they have multiple children, they choose to treat all their children the same across the board, and you can't do that with children, because every child has different needs. So you have to find out what that child's